Hey, Coach Blaine McCorkle, post-game against Stephen F. Austin. Coach, we'll start with an opening statement and open it up to questions.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Stephen F. Austin. Very, very deserving of being our conference champion, being 8-0 in the league. They'll get the auto bid to the playoffs. So, they're our arch rival, and we're supposed to hate them and all that stuff. But I love my guys more than I hate them. And we got a great conference in the Southland Conference, and I'll be pulling for them. And I hope they get a bye. I think probably what they did tonight probably got them a bye, and they'll definitely be at home. And I hope they make a run. I've been very blessed in my career to be the NCAA playoffs 4 times, so I know what that level team looks like, and they got a good football team. And I'll be pulling for Coach Carthel and his group here the next few weeks, and hopefully that'll take away from the recruiting process a little bit for them and help the rest of us out.
Coach, you're obviously not the best results here tonight. Talking late in the fourth quarter, you have your 2 seniors, Eli gets a touchdown to tie. What does that mean to you to see those 2 seniors get in the end zone tonight?
Well, that's exciting. I mean, you want to see guys finish their career and make a play and make a lifetime memory there, and good for them. I think that both of those guys, the thing that's unique about them, they'd rather win the game than make that play. And I think that's the beauty of those 2 guys and a lot of guys in our senior class. It's a team game, and again, those things are exciting for a senior. But Ty Moore is a Northwestern State football player to the core. His mom's in our Hall of Fame here as a track athlete. His dad was an unbelievable tight end here back in the day. He actually played for Coach Joseph when he was here before. And Ty Moore has been thinking and dreaming about Northwestern State football since he was born. So we'll definitely miss him. And then he was a heck of a player for us. I don't know where he finished receiving this year, but he might have been our leading receiver. Now it's all said and done. I'm not sure. But it's exciting to see him finish his career well there. And what's fun about Ty is he's going to stay around here as a graduate assistant actually for our softball team, which is pretty cool because his family's got a pretty neat story with softball as well. And then Eli's a guy that is kind of modern day college football. He's only been here 1 year, transferred in here after Mississippi College dropped their football program last year. Shame on them because that was once a proud program that's not there anymore. But he's been a great teammate to a lot of people. He's been a great backup at the right time for Abram. He's been supportive. And when he's had his opportunities to get called on, he's done a good job. So happy for those 2 guys to have that opportunity. But again, all 12 of our seniors, I promise you, would rather win the game than that.
When you did have moments there, and they kind of got going late in the first half, we just talked about the seniors, but again, it was a lot of the future of this program.
Yep.
Cam Davis has the first touchdown. Brendan Webb makes 2 really standout kind of plays to get you in position late in the half. Didn't finish, but again, this is kind of what this season's been about. It's about stacking another layer of moving toward the future.
Yeah, well, those 2 guys, and then JJ has the big long run there at the end. I wish he would have broke away and scored there, but he had the big long run. We've seen flashes of him doing that all year. Jackson King on defense went in there and I thought did a really good job playing a lot of snaps, and Jackson King led unbelievable. There's a couple moments in timeouts and stuff where he was just passionate into it and calling seniors out and really leading well as one of those freshmen. And there's a whole bunch of them out there, there's no moral victories. There's no whatever, but the score of the second half is 14-14. They called off the Dogs, which I would too. They're getting ready for the playoffs and they want to stay healthy. So they put in all their freshmen to play against our freshmen, and it's a tie ball game. So maybe, I'm a little bit of a dreamer. I tell my guys that all the time. So as I see that unfolding, I'm picturing them being back here in 2 years and us playing for a conference championship on a Thursday night in front of a packed Turpin Stadium, and it goes down to the wire. I mean, that's what we all want, right? So if our guys can keep developing, they'll play against those same guys in there for a couple of years, and we'll see what's happened. But we've said all year, from the preseason talks, that we have the youngest roster in America, and we played the toughest schedule in school history, and that's what we just did. And those guys grew unbelievably from it, and it gives us a lot to work with moving forward.
Coach, can you talk to me about those 12 seniors and what they've meant to this roster in terms of helping grow the players of tomorrow here at MSU?
Yeah, last night in the team meeting, I really took some time to acknowledge all 12 of those guys, and I think there are really 3 different groups within that senior class. One is a group of guys that came here. I think there's 4 of them that came in this year with 1 year to go, transferred in as grad seniors or 1-year guys. And what you kind of admire about them is, if you're going to go somewhere that you don't know anybody, in a program that's kind of been down and out a little bit, and you're going to make a decision to do that, what you're really saying is, I love football, and I love people that love football, and I think that those 4 guys do. The second group of seniors within that group are the guys that we brought in a year ago, transfers that we brought that were 2-year guys. And I really appreciate them because they came here on blind faith. They came here while a program had just been shut down, but they heard the message, they believed the vision, and they said, yeah, I'm going to go be a part of that and finish my career there. Specifically, Landry Huddleston. I don't want to talk about him because I'll get broke up on that one. He's one that really believes in our vision and who we are. Recruited him out of high school to Belhaven. He was there with us for 2 years, won a championship, was an outstanding player, but believed so much in how we run our program that he was willing to leave an all-conference career at a Division III school just to cover some kicks here and be a part of it. So that second group of seniors, I kind of put them in that category. And then the last group, I think there's only 3 of them, are guys that were here when we got here. And they decided to stay at Northwestern State during the very darkest moments, probably in school history, not even football history. And to me, what I told those 3 guys is, if there's anybody who can be proud and say, I was a Northwestern State Demon football player the rest of their life, it's those guys. And they may have had as little on-the-field success as any group of seniors in the history of the program in 108 years of football here. But boy, they got a lot to be proud of because in the darkest days, they chose to have some loyalty, show a little perseverance, overcome some adversity, and say, no, in this era of college football, I'm going to stay and make that home. So it's kind of really, and that's a long answer, I know, but I do think there's 3 distinct groups within that senior class that are uniquely different. But those last 3 that decided to stay through this thing, that's pretty special, and that's what college football is still supposed to be about, is making a place home and having some loyalty as a student athlete. Is that a long enough answer for you?
Coach, when you look back, and you'll have a lot of time to sit here in the next couple of days when you go through film and go through the 12 games, biggest takeaways just off the top of your head real quick from the end of the season?
Well, as crazy as it sounds, we got better. We just got better, and I remember my college coach used to say all the time, success is defined as improvement. We improved. We came into this season with the longest losing streak in the country, and we won a game. That's improvement. We had 3 games that were really one play away from turning it around. Houston Christian's a 3-point game. Prairie View's a 3-point game. Prairie View this weekend will be 9-3 and win the SWAC. It's a 3-point game. And then last week at Nichols, it's a 5-point game. We have a bang-bang play on the goal line with 41 seconds. So really you're 3 plays away from 4 wins when you come into the season with the longest losing streak in the country. And I've already started doing some math. You guys know well enough that I kind of like punching numbers and playing with the stats a little bit. But statistically, when we break down this year compared to last year, there's not many categories that we're not going to be well ahead in. I think as of tonight, we had more yards than last year. I think the defensive points allowed was down coming into this game. Probably still will be when it's all said and done. We do the averages, but there's a lot of statistical proof to show that we did get better. Coming into this game, the point differential in our FCS games from last year was like 248, and coming into this one, it was 189 this year. So we were 60 points better in the differential coming into this game. So all those things lead to one thing, improvement. So there's successes in there. The problem is the last place it's going to show up is the scoreboard. And when you've got, again, say it again, the youngest team in the country playing the toughest schedule in school history, and you show that kind of improvement, those things are encouraging and they give us something to build on. And I told the team in the locker room a minute ago that I'm going to lay in bed all night and just think about 2026, because for me, we got a lot of work to do and a lot of decisions to make, but I'm ready for it to get here. I think our kids are too. I think that's why they fought so hard all the way to the end of the season. Even tonight, they played hard against a really good opponent, but what they did last week, it kind of speaks to their toughness and character too.
Coach, like you mentioned a minute ago, wow, you guys have 1 win, 11 losses. You guys played much better and showed a lot of growth throughout the season, being very competitive. Those fans at home, is it just kind of a message going forward to look ahead and over the next couple of seasons? What would you say to them?
What would I say to the fans at home? Don't go away. Okay, and I think what I would say to the fans at home, some of them may not want to hear this, I really don't care, but I know who was in the stands tonight, and I know who was pulling for us, and I'll know who's going to show up when we start winning, and I'll be glad you're there. We'll be happy to have you on board, but we know who's been with us in the tough times, and we really appreciate that. And to the fans at home, if you can't recognize the things that I just mentioned, and I've said this a couple of times in the last couple of weeks about how far this program's come through an unbelievable situation, then you're just blind. shame on you. Just read a little bit, and you can see where this program's going, and jump on board. Because, like I said, I'm going to go to bed tonight thinking and dreaming about 2026, and I can't wait.
Coach, thank you for your time throughout the season.
All right. Thank you, guys.